She said no, in front of everyone. Cameras were flashing, the music had faded, and every heart in the room stopped. Lee Min-ho stood there, holding out a ring that sparkled under the lights, his voice trembling with sincerity. But what happened next? No one saw it coming. This is the kind of moment that breaks the internet. So before we dive into every heart-wrenching detail, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because you don't want to miss the full truth behind what just happened between Lee Min-ho and Kim Go Eun. For years, fans have speculated, were they just co-stars, or something more? Ever since their unforgettable performance together in The King, Eternal Monarch, whispers of romance followed them everywhere. They were seen dining late at night, leaving film sets together, and even wearing what some eagle-eyed fans called matching accessories. But they never confirmed anything. Always private, always composed. Until now. It was meant to be a beautiful, cinematic moment. An event hosted by Lee Min-ho's agency. A glamorous charity gala with all the right people and all the right press. The night was full of laughter, elegant gowns, and star-studded surprises. But the biggest surprise of all was still hiding behind the curtain. Lee Min-ho was planning to propose. Not privately, not quietly, but in front of everyone. He had rehearsed the words. He had chosen the ring. And he had even arranged for the live string quartet to pause at exactly the right moment, so he could get down on one knee and tell the woman he loved that he wanted forever. And Kim Go Eun? She had no idea. She was invited like every other guest. A stunning vision in a soft pink gown, her smile lighting up every room she entered. She mingled with fellow actors, smiled for photographers, and sat politely through the first hour of speeches and performances. But when the spotlight turned, when Lee Min-ho took the stage and asked for the mic, the energy shifted. He didn't speak about the foundation or the event. He spoke about love. His voice cracked slightly at first, and some guests assumed he was going to recite a thank you or share a personal anecdote. But then he said her name, Kim Go Eun. The crowd gasped. Her eyes widened. A hush fell over the room as she turned in her seat. And then, Lee Min-ho began his speech. He talked about fate, about timing, about how sometimes you meet someone who doesn't just change your life, they become your life. He spoke of quiet moments, shared coffees, laughter no one else got to hear. Every word made it clear. This wasn't just a dramatic gesture. This was real, deeply emotionally real. And then he said the words, "Will you marry me?" He dropped to one knee. He opened the velvet box. Inside, a breathtaking ring sparkled under the lights. But Kim Go Eun's face didn't light up. She stood slowly. Her hand covered her mouth. Her eyes, wide, shimmering, and unreadable, swept across the room. The world felt like it stopped spinning. And then gently, with a voice barely above a whisper, she said, "I'm sorry. I can't." The room fell into complete silence. Lee Min-ho, still kneeling, froze. His smile faded just slightly. Not entirely, but enough for everyone to feel the sting. Kim Go Eun turned and walked quickly out of the ballroom, leaving behind an audience too stunned to even breathe. Within minutes, the internet exploded. Videos were already being uploaded. Kim Go Eun rejects Lee Min-ho started trending worldwide. Millions of fans were divided, some in heartbreak, others in confusion. Why did she say no? What happened between them? Some speculated that she didn't know it was coming, that it was too public, too sudden. Others believed there had been a private disagreement beforehand, something unspoken that had fractured their bond. But those close to the couple, they said the story was far more complicated than it looked. Sources close to Kim Go Eun revealed that she had recently been going through a period of deep self-reflection. With new projects lined up, international offers, and a renewed focus on personal growth, marriage hadn't been on her mind. She loved Lee Min-ho, perhaps more than she could even express. But the pressure of a public proposal, the weight of that moment, had simply been too much. She didn't say no to him, a friend reportedly said. She said no to the timing. But for Lee Min-ho, it was hard not to take it personally. Friends said he had been planning the proposal for months, waiting for the right time, the right place. He believed they were ready. He believed she was the one. In the days following the event, both stars went silent. No interviews, no social media posts, just silence. The kind of silence that says more than words ever could. Fans filled the gap with theories, reactions, and emotional posts. Some shared clips from The King, Eternal Monarch, reminiscing about their undeniable chemistry. Others wrote open letters to both of them, urging understanding, patience, and love. Then, nearly a week after the event, Kim Go Eun posted something. It was a simple photo, just a handwritten note, black ink on white paper. No filter, no edits. The note read, "Some moments are too big for words. But love doesn't disappear just because we're not ready to say yes to forever. Thank you for understanding." She didn't name Lee Min-ho. She didn't explain everything. But those who understood deeply. Shortly after, Lee Min-ho liked the post. It was his first online activity since the proposal. Was this their silent agreement? A mutual understanding that love sometimes takes a different path? Or was this the beginning of the end? Only time would tell. Insiders claim the two have agreed to take space, not because they're ending things, but because they want to protect something they both deeply care about. They're not broken up, one source said. They're just pausing, breathing, and trying to understand each other's hearts again. And maybe, just maybe, that's the real love story here. Not the fairy tale with the perfect proposal and perfect yes, but a story of two people navigating the hardest truth of all, that love is complicated, that it's not always about big gestures and diamonds under spotlights. Sometimes it's about stepping back, listening, healing, and holding space for each other's growth. So what's next for Lee Min-ho and Kim Go Eun? Sources say they're still in contact, that they've spoken privately, that there are no hard feelings, only a desire to move carefully and kindly. Fans are hoping they can find their way back to each other, in a moment that feels right for both of them. One thing is for sure, this moment, this shocking twist, has changed everything. Not just for them, but for fans around the world who believed in their love story. Because sometimes, the most powerful love stories aren't the ones where everything goes right. They're the ones where people choose honesty over pressure, where they walk away from the spotlight to protect something real. And that is exactly what Kim Go Eun did. She didn't say no out of rejection. She said no out of love, for herself, for him, and for the life they both deserve to build with open eyes and full hearts. So before you leave, ask yourself, what would you do if the love of your life asked you to marry them in front of the world, and your heart wasn't ready? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is one story we'll all be watching closely. And if you want to be the first to know how it all unfolds, whether Lee Min-ho tries again, whether Kim Go Eun says yes in her own time, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because this real-life K-drama is far from over. Stay tuned. Would you like a YouTube description, tags, or thumbnail idea to go with this script?